Good morning. This is the video for the parting hue plays. It's pretty short. I think we can actually cover it in one video. So let me read you the Zettel and then Ringeck's gloss, and I'll show you how to practice it on the pill. So here begins the text and gloss regarding the parting hue. The parter is dangerous to the face, with its turn quite dangerous to the chest. Pretty short. Ringeck's gloss. The parter is quite dangerous to the face and chest. Perform it like this. When he stands against you in the guard of the fool, hue with the long edge from your highest point above down, and remain with the hue high with the arms, and hang in the point of the face as is pictured thereafter. If he parries your parter firmly upward with the cross guard, invert your sword with the cross guard high in front of your head, and plant the point below to his chest as pictured. So just to provide some context, we have an opponent who is in a low point forward guard. It's really okay if they're kind of in the side, but what we're dealing with is attacking opponent that's in a low guard. This looks very inviting, but obviously there's some problems if they pick up and try to counter into our attack. So what we're trying to do is maximize our range to present a threat that provokes them out of that. And if we can hit them, that's all the better. So the mechanics of the parting hue are super simple. Whether you're doing the shoulder or the high bomb tog, all we're trying to do is throw a downward cut to the head, keeping our arms high. And we're doing that to maximize range. So if I'm facing my pelt, if I kind of throw a standard cut with my shoulders kind of, or my hands kind of coming out about chest-ish level, you can see I'm actually missing. If I raise my hands and I let my grip shift a little bit, I can actually maximize my reach where I get just a couple more inches where I'm going to really be presenting a threat. This can, especially if I do this with a slight offline step, keeps me out of the range of the spazzy little thrust. And now my opponent really has to deal with this. And the most common oh shit response is to pick up with the cross guard. That's what they're talking about. So the first part, if we're just trying to practice the mechanic of the parting cut, is we're going to be out of range, where if we took our standard step and threw maybe a diagonal overcut with these kind of chest level hands, we're going to miss a little bit. And we're just letting our grip shift and raising our arms so that we're maximizing our range. So just practice. And I really like to do that with a slight offline step away from my opponent's point. I am just making sure that I'm doing this with high hands. And if you end up stabbing in the face, it's all good. The hanging in part is when we've done this, we can roll our back edge or our true edge up. And this is going to let us threaten the point with the face. So if the opponent does raise up and catches our downward cut on their cross guard, from here we can hang in and still threaten the face. So this is something that I would practice kind of rolling right into. So now, rather than just cutting out with that parter, now cut out and practice that transition into the thrust. So that is a good way to do it. So what I'm doing is I'm throwing my high parting cut. When I'm landing, I'm just letting the true edge roll up, which is going to let me put that point into the face. So start practicing that now. Boom. And then the last little bit is if they push up very high, which if we provoked our opponent into an oh shit reaction, those tend to be big. So now even the cut's not going to land. Even if we just roll the edge up, they're probably pushing up quite high, but that creates this window right here that we can go underneath. So now what we're going to do is we're going to throw our parting cut from here, and we're going to disengage under their arms and stab them into the chest. You want to keep your hands high, because if we put the point here, we don't want them to be able to come down and kind of mush through our sword and hit us in the head anyway. Boom. So just practice high cut, hang in, disengage. High cut, hang in, disengage. High cut, hang in, disengage. And you're keeping your hands high. That's going to keep us safe. But just make sure when we get here, don't do this. That's not going to keep us safe. We're going to get cracked in the head, especially if somebody is kind of panicky and coming right down. That's about it. So just when you're practicing this, make sure, rather than coming to here or raising the hands, I like to let my grip shift a little bit into even more of that kind of sabery handshake grip. Just make sure we're doing this with high hands to maximize our range, and then practice the transition so that true edge is up for the hang in, and then practice the disengage where our hands stay high if the opponent pushes up really high. So one more time with the camera, high hands hang in, disengage. So that's really it with the parting cut. Go ahead and play with that, and we'll work on something else next week.